And the first item on our agenda is actually our partner spotlight, and we're highlighting the ACE Inspire Academy. So I want to welcome Thalia, Zapata, and Justina Walch of the ACE Inspire Academy, which is located on East Julian, across from San Jose High School. The Academy was founded in 2008 with 95 middle schoolers and now has 4 schools serving over 1,100 students. The ACE model is designed specifically to help the most struggling students build optimism about their future in college and beyond. I actually was on their website yesterday looking at it in preparation of this meeting, and I'm excited to hear this presentation and hear more about the ACE Inspire Academy. So I'll turn it over to Thalia.
Hi, Nicole, thank you so much. Good morning, everybody, and thank you guys for having us. We are really excited to be here today, just because, as Nicole was mentioning, we've come a long way in servicing students that really have a high need for whatever reason, whatever struggles they're facing. We try to provide a safe haven for them, a good educational experience for them in any way possible. So working with you guys has been an absolutely amazing experience for us and for our students. As previously mentioned, my name is Thalia Zapata. I am the Community Outreach Manager at ACE Inspire Academy, and previously I actually had 3 years of experience as a paraprofessional within the Inspire in the special education department. So that has been a great experience for me. I have gotten to see the students' perspective from within the classroom, and I've been also now able to help families kind of understand what that means for their students. If we could go on to the next slide, please. Thank you so much. So as previously mentioned, we've been open for over a decade, in which we've been able to touch a lot of families, a lot of students, and help them in their academic endeavors. We opened in 2008 with 95 students in the Mayfair neighborhood and have now expanded to include other areas, such as our school, which touches more on the downtown area. We were founded by parents as well as CEO Greg Lipman, based on the community's needs. So where there's a need, there's pretty much something you can do to help fulfill that need. And that's what Greg, along with other very active parents looking for the correct experiences for their students, were able to create. The focus of ACE as a network is on preparing all students for college and beyond. So not only do we help them get ready academically and on a more personal level to go on to college, we make sure that they are supported beyond that. So for example, I work at one of our middle schools. We do have a high school, but we make sure that even once they leave our campus, and either they move on to one of our high schools, a lot of our students go to San Jose High or any of the other nearby schools, we make sure that they are still supported. We check in with them. We make sure that they know where to find us in case they need anything. And then once they go on to college, we still follow up and we're still that support. And they always come back and share their experiences with our current students, which is just fabulous. If we could go on to the next slide, please. So this is the mission and vision of ACE Charter Schools. As a network, ACE ensures that students who are struggling gain the skills and the will to succeed in college and beyond. So it's not just about what we're doing for them right now, it's how this is going to affect their future later on once they've completely left any ACE institution. Our vision is that students excel in an equitable educational system that equips them to make transformative choices for their families and their communities. So the point is to help them realize their potential, know that they have greatness within them, and help them foster that to the best of our abilities. We're not just talking academics, it's more as people, we have a duty to ourselves, to our students, to help them grow in whichever way we can help them grow. And just a few stats on ACE. So all of our ACE students can grow to be college ready. That's a very strong core belief that we have in all of our schools. Every single person has the potential to grow, to go to college, and to be successful. It's just about making sure that they have the resources and the supports necessary to get there. It's not a matter of I can't, it's a matter of let me help you be on that even playing field. So 80% of all ACE alumni in college are persisting towards a degree. So a lot of our students go to San Jose State. Some of them go to different schools across the country, and we are extremely, extremely proud of that fact. 99 of ACE graduates qualify for a California public university. So we make sure that they have the requirements and they're prepared to face any challenges and to take on any educational system that they want to tackle. And 100% of ACE alumni will be the first college graduates in their family. And this is a huge deal for our community. A lot of our parents want their children to succeed. A lot of them just don't know how. Okay, I'm sending my child to school, but then how do I help them get to college? And a lot of this also stems from a financial standpoint. How do we pay for their college education? And their choice in high school has a lot to do with that. And thankfully, we do know that a lot of the high schools in our areas, in our San Jose community, are really great institutions that can really prepare our students for any university that they choose to go to, whether it is still in the Bay Area, whether it's in California or it's somewhere else. We are very proud to be part of that just overall educational network where students can succeed and be able to be the first in their families to say, you know what, I did it. So now younger generations can go ahead and do the same as well. They become examples within their own families. Next slide, please. Alrighty, so now a little bit more about ACE Inspire Academy in specific. So all of the pictures that I included in here, I don't know if you guys have been able to get a chance to look at them. These are all our students. We have been open for approximately 5 to 6 years right now. And we've been able to just have that very strong bond with our students since we are a smaller school. We are an educational institution that proudly works with students that are underserved and benefit from a more individualized educational setting. A lot of our students require a little bit of that extra step besides just going into class. It's having that additional feeling of like, you know what, I don't understand this and I kind of don't want to go talk to my teacher, so let me reach out to this other person. So just having that smaller network and having that that support to whoever they turn, that's really important for us. And out of the 239 students that we currently have enrolled, 51 are SPED. So we have a really high population of special education students across our network. In our school, we have a very great, amazing team that really goes above and beyond to make sure that our special education students have the supports that they need and that are being successful in the classroom and having that confidence within themselves that they are capable and they will be able to do so, which is how we have such a high number of SPED students every year. Parents recommend to other parents, and we're very proud to be able to provide those supports and those systems. We also strive to ensure that all students have access to a quality education and experiences that will help them grow beyond the classroom. This was one of the reasons as to why when San Jose State reached out, we immediately jumped on it, because there's so many great experiences out there that we can bring into our classrooms. And I think it's a very beautiful thing when not only are we teaching our students in theory, but they get to see it. They get to experience other students who maybe like them at one point were also like, oh, I want to go to college, and now they're there. And now they're coming into their classrooms and giving them a lesson of like, hey, this is where I'm at right now, and you're going to be there too. We have a very strong value in providing those outside experiences for our students. We like taking them on different excursions, exposing them to different cultures, different programs, different kinds of things that will help them expand their own thinking and their own perspective of the world. We have an extremely strong sense of community and a high value of personal growth. And this has allowed us to create a safe environment conducive to an effective learning experience for all of our students. We have a ton of things going on all the time besides the academics, and we make sure to include our families. So when we say our community, we mean our students, our teachers, our staff, all of our parents, and even the random person that finds themselves in one of our events or other, which is really, it makes us feel really connected to our community, and it helps drive our overall goal of helping students get ready for college, because even though they're still in middle school, this is a time when they're going to be learning new habits, they're going to be learning new values, and they're going to be learning about themselves. So the experience we provide for them early on is going to help them prepare for high school, which is then going to give them that academic push and that academic stepping stone towards being 100% college ready. And we just want to say huge thank you to all of you for inviting us here today, to all of the San Jose students who visited our classrooms, Michael, Matthew, Jennifer. We really appreciate everything you guys did for us. So we could go on to the last slide. Thank you guys so much for having us. Thank you for everything, and we look forward to continue working with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was great. It's great to hear about the programs. We definitely have time for questions. Are there folks that want to ask some questions? And maybe, I don't know if do we have the raised hand feature in this Zoom, or I can't see everybody with the screen share. So I'm going to say, if you have questions, go ahead and jump in. I had a couple. I had one. I had a couple actually, but I'll start with one. And how have you seen COVID impacting, and distance learning? Has that changed your approach, and is it changing? How is that affecting the programs and education that you're doing?
I'm going to try to attempt this one real quick, and then I will have Ms. Walch, our school principal, who is also present here. She can give a little bit more details on that. From a community perspective, as that is my area of work, a lot of our families have struggled a lot in terms of financial situations and in terms of morale at home. I know that a lot of our students are feeling very discouraged, and they're feeling very sad, because they see how it's affecting their family members. They see how it's affecting some of their classmates. And unfortunately, our students are not exempt from that. So we have had experiences where either our students, their family members, their friends have either tested positive, they've gotten very sick, and some of them have lost loved ones. And that is, of course, going to affect their efforts in school. Because when you're so worried about your family, last thing on your mind is really going to be, am I doing this assignment correctly? But we have been trying to provide them with that support as well. We do have an amazing school counselor who, as soon as we hear any news about this, we immediately reach out to her. Hey, do you mind checking in on this student? Because we know that that's going to affect the way they're going to behave in the classroom. Some of them are going to lash out. They're not going to want to listen. Some of them are going to be saying, you know what, I'm sorry, my mind is just not here right now. And the good thing about the network that we have created is that our students do feel comfortable sending those messages. Our students do feel comfortable sending us a private message, whether it be on the chat or an email saying, Miss Zapata, I'm sorry this happened in my family. I don't think I can do very good in class today. And that's okay. And that's the kind of relationship we do want to encourage. In terms of the more academic aspect, Ms. Walch, if we would like to take this one.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Miss Walch. Thank you, Thalia, so much. We're so lucky to have her at our school as the community outreach manager. I would say for COVID, kind of just piggybacking off of what she said, as far as the academic piece, is that we're finding that our students really struggle with the learning environments that are created at home. They can't always be as successful as they want to in class because of where they're at. And while we still are in distance learning, just due to all the safety protocols, we want to make sure that we get it right. What we're kind of putting in place now is the students that aren't successful, how can we support them even more? So it's been a huge impact for our community and for our students.
I can imagine. And I would think even internet access and access to a computer might be challenging for some.
Yeah, we're very, our central office has been very supportive in this. And so each of our students have their computers and we provide hotspots for them.
Oh.
A lot of times we find ourselves being tech support and we have to switch computers in and out, hotspots in and out, but we're very grateful to our central office and our IT team that allow us to do that for students because not all schools have that.
Yeah. Does anyone else have some questions for ACE?
I had a quick question for Thalia and Ms. Walters. If you could kind of imagine any type of curricular enhancement that CommUniverCity might be able to provide, say, next semester or in the fall, do you have any ideas of what curricular area that might be, or what particular grade level might be struggling the most? That'd be great. Thank you.
I'll take that one. I think that right now what we're kind of finding with shutting down in March and coming back over this, you always have the summer slide backwards a little bit, and now coming into the fall, is that a lot of our fifth graders specifically are really far behind. As this is the lowest class that I've ever seen coming in. A couple things I think about, like curriculum needed. I'm not sure if it's so much as curriculum as it is like things, access to resources. So like access to books. We have a new digital library that we're doing through Mayan. And I also think feel like what we're really needing is just a little bit of guided tutoring. We don't have all of the bodies that we need for our kids to be successful in math and in ELA. So when I think about curricula, I think even about just like a tutoring program.
Okay, thank you. That's very helpful.
Really helpful. Yeah, really interesting. You know, so before we wrap up this section, does anyone else have questions that they? Well, I will wrap up by saying thank you. And I also will just put in a plug for, I work in an environment, I'm an engineer by education, but I work in an environment with a lot of urban planners and landscape architects. And I'll just say that those are both fields that are grossly underrepresented. With both women and minorities. So please reach out to me if there's ever opportunity for me or someone on my team to kind of connect with you to do some just education. Like, I honestly think kids don't know those careers are out there. I don't think they know what they are, but they're so important in urban planning in particular. You know, you're city building. It's the future of our world. And it's really hard when it's all done by people that all look like me. So it's kind of a personal mission of mine. So if I can help, let me know. So with that, I will thank you, both of you, for being here, and we'll move on to our next agenda item.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. So our next agenda item, engineering in action. We're going to have Jennifer Rodriguez, who's our CommUniverCity project coordinator, and Michael Oye, the associate director of CommUniverCity, present this section. Michael is also among course instructors who have incorporated engineering in action in their curriculum and as a service learning opportunity for students since 2012. Engineering in action is designed to ignite passion for science and technology among K through 12 students in San Jose. So I'm going to turn it over to them, and I'll just preface this with the same thing I just said to Thalia and Justina. If there's things I can do to help with some of the less traditional technical fields like landscape architecture, keep me in mind. So Michael and Jennifer.
Thank you, Nicole. Hi, everyone. My name is Jennifer Rodriguez. I'm a fourth-year sociology major at San Jose State, as well as a project coordinator at CommUniverCity. And one of the projects I coordinate along with Michael is engineering in action. So today we'll talk a little bit about what engineering in action is and what we did this semester in particular.
Yeah, and thanks again, Nicole and Jennifer, and and everybody. We're really excited to present this right after ACE, and especially connecting with Thalia. What you're going to find with this project is that it really does help to advance CommUniverCity's mission and ACE's mission with looking at community identified needs and having the mission of having college ready and college bound students who are ready to go off to college after graduating from their elementary schools and high schools. And then also bringing in those outside experiences like Thalia said. So we're excited to present this to you. So next slide, please. So in a normal environment, we would have been back into in-person, hands-on activities, where we actually do bring in those outside experiences and inspire that college-going culture. This is an example of what it was like about a couple of years ago. These are my SJSU students going out to one of the local elementary schools and doing their hands-on demonstrations. But now, next slide, please. We're all online. So this is pretty much the modern day reality, as we just discussed with Nicole's question to Thalia. So we're going to talk about how we deployed the Engineering in Action project this semester. So next slide, please. And Jennifer's going to talk about the reason why we would have the Engineering in Action and the motivation behind it. So Jennifer, do you want to take it away?
So why engineering action? So less than 30% of students of color are awarded a bachelor's STEM degree. Thus, engineering in action strives to bridge that gap in providing after-school enrichment to ignite passion for STEM. So as you can see in the pictures, this was from fall 2019. SJSU students, elementary students are connecting and learning new topics within STEM and specifically engineering. Next slide, please. So what does Engineering in Action do? It creates a college-going culture. It inspires younger generation, K through 12 students to in STEM, to introduce them to STEM if they haven't been introduced, and to inspire them to go to college. It also provides them a role model and mentorship because many times the schools that we've gone to, they have first generation, they probably have first generation students, low income students. So it's probably the first time they're actually meeting a college student. So this really, gets them that college going culture by meeting a college student and getting to know them and how college is in regards to school and the type of topics they're talking about. In addition, the SJSU students also get a little bit of career preparation because they get to practice explaining technical subjects to non-technical people, which would be the K through 12 students. So obviously a lot of engineering students, they know, very technical topics and subjects. So this gives them the practice to explain these topics to non-technical people who may not be very familiar with the same concepts they are. Next slide, please. So these were some of the participating schools that this semester. We had ACE Inspire Academy, we had Alpha Cornerstone, Spartan Keys Choral, and St. Patrick's School. Next slide, please.
Okay, so the components of an Engineering in Action project incorporates two key things. Number one is the personal introductions. It's to get that mentorship, it's to inspire, it's to be the role model. And the second is the hands-on engineering demonstration, where the SJSU students get an opportunity to teach that technical subject, as Jennifer said. And it's also an opportunity for elementary school kids to get that demonstration in person and have that connection. But this semester in fall of 2010 or 2020, there's a few things that are different. Number one is, of course, we're all online. The second thing is with the individual introductions, we had the SJSU students create videos at the beginning of the semester. So I'll show you that in the next slide. And then the kids actually had a chance to ask questions in advance. And that really ties into CommUniverCity's mission of community identified needs, in the sense of like, what are the questions and what are the needs that the community has? And we try to have the class topics focused around that. We either had pre-recorded or live virtual presentations that we had deployed. And another component of trying to get that hands-on component was to have these take-home kits. So you see here in the picture here, we had some take-home kits that we delivered to the families in advance of the lessons, so that they'll have a chance to interact with something in their homes during the lessons. So an example of one of the components were, with the introduction videos, it's actually next slide, please, and we'll give you a taste of what the presentations were involved. So these were the videos that were sent over to the kids. And if you can go ahead and play this, please, Matt.
Hi, my name is Diri Ibrahim, and I'm an industrial systems engineering major at San Jose State University. And just like you, we're learning from home. Hang in there, and you can go to college too. When I was young, my dream was to help people. Helping people is rather vague, so I soon realized that I needed to narrow that down and think of how that aligned with my interests and hobbies to get an idea on what I should do moving forward. I always enjoyed mathematics as a child and building things with the materials I had around me, so I thought engineering might be a good fit. I was encouraged to go to college by my family, who didn't have the same opportunities that I had in this country. After immigrating from corruption and war in northeastern Africa, like most people, they've come to the United States to try and provide a better life for themselves and their families. Knowing that has inspired me to continue working hard and not take anything for granted. I chose industrial engineering at San Jose State University because I not only enjoy the math and sciences that I've learned, but the technical aspect of applying my knowledge towards service systems and manufacturing problems. In 2020, service industries now make up a significant portion of the economic GDP in the United States and other Western developed post-industrial societies and countries. Thus, maintaining and improving it will be a huge engineering challenge, and being able to contribute and make a difference on those significant challenges to make life easier for people will mean a lot to me personally. At San Jose State, some of my favorite on-campus locations to go to is the MLK Library, the Student Union, the Spartan Recreation Center, and the Engineering Building, all of which I attend to either study or relax in between studies and classes. If you decide to attend SJSU, I encourage you to take advantage of the many great programs available to help support students. I had the opportunity to join the EOP and MEP programs, which both stand for the Educational Opportunity Program and Mesa Engineering Program, respectively. Both programs assist communities of first-generation or low-income students that come from different ethnic and cultural backgrounds eager to attain a college education. They provide services such as a study lounge, internship and job leads, academic counseling, and in some cases, financial support. My superhero in life is basketball star Kobe Bryant and boxer Muhammad Ali. I just love their work ethic and the fact that they didn't cheat themselves and worked extremely hard to be great in their respective careers that they committed themselves towards. That mentality of hard work and commitment to be great can be applicable not only in academia but in life after college. Because of college, my superpower is going to be to inspire other people, a new generation of students by telling my story, assist my community, and helping resolve management-based problems or management-based organizational problems utilizing my industrial engineering toolkit. Thank you for your time.
And so that was an example of one of the videos, and there's actually a lot of overlap with Elizabeth Figueroa's College Day program. The script was actually written by her for that, so we incorporated a lot of the the individual introduction scripts for not only College Day but also for Engineering in Action individual introduction. So, but this is the type of example that we still at least maintain with that personal connection as one of the components for the Engineering in Action. And if you can go to the next slide, please.
Hi, my name is Diri.
Okay, so to focus on the resident identified topics, Jennifer is going to talk a little bit about how we help to address that.
Yes, so the way we addressed this was I asked students what they wanted to learn about engineering and what they knew about engineering. And from the questions generated that I got from the kids, topics were assigned to the SJSU students based on the questions. So as you could see on the screen, on the right picture, the kids had a lot of different questions. There was from all different grade levels from K through pretty much like 8th grade. Next slide, please.
Yeah, and we compiled those questions, and then we brought it up to the SJC students, and we wanted to make sure that it ties into their curriculum as well, and things with what they're learning. And one of the questions that the kids asked was, where does electricity come from? Where does electricity come from? And it does tie into some of the topics we cover. And if we go to the next, we can go to the next slide, please. Right, so it turns out that about over half of your electricity will come from the steam generation. And the idea behind this is that water, which is in a liquid phase, gets heated up and turned into a gas phase, which helps turn a turbine that helps generate electricity. And so central to this is actually phase changes. And that's one of the topics that we cover in our engineering classes. So when we're explaining how steam generators work, we're also able to explain the fundamental principles of something very scientific like phase changes. So if we can go to the next slide, please. So we have here, I think, is an example of a recorded video. This was something that the SJSU students prepared in advance. Remember, we had both live and the recorded. And for the recorded videos, we would present those with Jennifer moderating the playing of the recorded video. So here's a short clip of Jennifer doing that. If you can please play this.
And the gases are often separated by great distances.
Okay, so now we'll be talking about phase changes specifically through each state.
When you go from the blue to the purple, it says it's melting since you're going from solid to liquid. Then it's freezing if you're going the other way, as it's turning into an ice cube. Or when you're going from solid to liquid, it's going back to water.
Okay, so now can anybody give me some examples of what an example of solid to liquid or liquid to solid? You see some here on the screen.
So that was a clip of us over at Alpha Cornerstone going in virtually. So if you can go to the next slide, please.
And the gases are often separated.
Okay, so that was the video. We had, again, the two key components there. We had the take-home kits for at least that activity where we delivered those phase change kits that included models of solid gases and liquids. The personal introductions were still possible with some videos that were pre-recorded, and we still had managed to do the hands-on demonstration even though we're online via Zoom. And we still managed to get some questions in advance by Jennifer going in virtually. And whether it's pre-recorded or live virtual presentations like we did at ACE, we're still able to deliver the Engineering in Action project. And so next slide, please. Jennifer's got some stats from this semester.
Yes, so these are some of the numbers, total numbers, and individual numbers from the schools we went to. So in total, we had 112 SJSU students with 11 classes and 224 K through 12 students and 9 teachers, 2 were admin. So like Michael said, Alpha Cornerstone, we did have the recorded videos, while the other 3, ACE Academy, Spartan Keys, and St. Patrick's School, we were live with SJSU students doing their demonstrations to the classes. Next slide, please.
And just to add some total numbers, as mentioned, since about 2011, 2012, I've been incorporating these in my classes every semester. These are just some numbers of the total number of kids we've incorporated, the SJC students, the total number of hours, and looking at the numbers from the independent sector on the value of each hour volunteer time. So far, since 2011, over $500,000 in value to the community. This semester also incorporated Emi Ishida, Santosh Casey, and Dayun Oh, who are also instructors for the materials engineering classes. Next slide, please.
So these were some quotes that we had gathered this semester. So Wendy Bernard from St. Patrick's School, she's the advancement director. She said, "I appreciate how you all participated at St. Patrick's School. We enjoyed planting the seed, and I appreciate that. I appreciate what you've done here." Next slide, please. So this is a quote from ACE Academy student from November 19th, who said, "Science is a body of knowledge that explores the physical and natural world. Engineering is the application of knowledge in order to design, build, and maintain a product or a process that solves a problem and fulfills a need, such as a technology." Next slide, please. And finally, we have some quotes from the SJSU students from Michael's class on November 23rd. Richard said, "That puts a smile on my face." Thalia, "It was a good project." And Joseph, "I was skeptical at first, but I'm actually really glad I did it." Next slide, please.
Yeah, and thank you, everybody. This was only a year ago when we took this picture. We were doing the Engineering in Action demonstration at the 15th anniversary celebrating partnerships. And, I would say stay safe, and hopefully a year from now, we'll all be able to be back in person. So thank you very much for your time. And
Thank you.
we'll be around if there's any questions we can answer.
Thank you, everyone.
Well, if it's all right for me to add, I was in a few of those lessons, and one thing we wouldn't have gotten in person is when the kids go to fill out the surveys or do the Google form, or while we are waiting to switch rooms, we're all still kind of stuck in the same place, right? Normally the students would split off from each other, like the elementary students to do the survey and the San Jose State students to leave for the day. But we got a chance to talk about college and what they do. And one student brought up that they were shy, but so was one of the kids who was on and didn't want to speak into the microphone. So they were just speaking via chat. And so that was something, a nice thing that came out of having to do this online, is the extra conversation that happened around college, around personal experiences, etc. I mean, at one point we even got down to is it worth it to go to college even though you have a natural ability for engineering stuff, or math and things like that, right? So I thought that was really a really nice aspect or silver lining to being able to do lessons online for this semester or year. Mm-hmm.
That's great. Well, thank you. Thank you both for that presentation. I'm going to say if you have questions, I would throw them into the chat, because I want to make sure we stay on our schedule, at least try to. So the next section of the agenda is about crowdfunding. So Michael is going to be back with Mary Jeanne and Elizabeth Figueroa to talk about a fundraising campaign that they're going to embark upon. So I'll turn it back to them.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Mary. I am in charge of the communications and social media for CommUniverCity. And just earlier this week on Giving Tuesday, we launched our crowdfunding campaign. So even though we all encountered a number of unexpected events this year, we really stayed committed to our community building projects. So in order to continue our work for the next year, we will be promoting our campaign on all of our social media platforms for the entire month of December. Our goal right now is hopefully to exceed what we have set at $10,000, so we need as much of your help as possible. The donations are going to fund educational take-home kits that students can engage with while they're stuck at home, which can be boring or difficult. And the kits are we mentioned earlier for Engineering in Action, project entrepreneurship for K-12 students. And you can find our campaign at powered.sjsu.edu/CommUniverCity. So please help us share this with your friends and family as well.
Yeah, thanks, Mary. And just for example, these are some examples of the kits that went out to families this semester. And you probably recognize that these are the same pictures that we just presented in the EIA presentation. So just as an example, yes, please help us with raising some funds. It depends on the kit, but on average, about $10 would be able to be enough for a single kit.
Great.
Oh, and maybe can I jump in? We did just make ourselves some young entrepreneurship kits, which are kind of a different discipline, and we did encounter an unexpected cost. I think we thought we were going to do them in-house, and then it proved a little bit beyond our capability. So we sent it out of house, and we had set an amount of like $30 to $40 per kit, but then each individual workbook ended up costing us $20 for custom printing, which we hadn't really anticipated. So those kinds of things do come up, especially in a remote learning environment where instead of having one station that the students rotate to, we're really trying to provide them with a little hands-on activity kit and instructions, things that they can do with their teachers, but also with their families. So it's an additional cost that we actually weren't anticipating pre-COVID.
Yeah, and just actually following up on what Catherine said, when we have SJSU students developing these kits and going out to the elementary schools, the model is that the SJSU students will stay at a table and the kids will rotate to a different station. So you can have a multiplier effect of a single kit reaching out to dozens of kids, but because now we're trying to deliver these individually to the families, we now have to have one per family as opposed to one per dozens of kids at the same time. So that's also an unanticipated cost that we found with in this remote environment.
Okay, well, thank you all for that announcement. And then moving into the next section of our agenda, call to action and announcements. I think our first item is with Mary about LinkedIn.
And next slide. These are a couple of the photos for the crowdfunding, and then here is also the examples or descriptions of the giving levels. So there are $10, $25, $50, $100, $250, and $500. And you can see how they supply more and more educational kits and entire programs as well. But in addition, we can move on to the next slide. So while we all enjoy our holiday break, we really do want to stay connected. So go ahead and give us a follow on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But also more importantly, we want to connect with all of your professional networks as well. So on LinkedIn, we want the more people we can reach, the more we can expand our audience to know about us, our service projects, and of course, our crowdfunding campaign.
Okay, thank you, Mary. Our next item, I'm going to turn it over to Michael and Elizabeth as we say farewell to Serena, graphic designer.
Oh, next slide, please. Do you want to take it away, Liz?
Sure. I was one of the people who interviewed Serena. Oh, I don't even remember what it was. Was it 2019 in the spring or so? It was in person, I can tell you that much. And I was just really impressed with the process that she did because John De La Cruz had applicants go through a process of how they come up with a logo. And I kid you not, the Engine in Action logo you see here on this slide was not created by Serena. It was something that we already had, but she, through her process, without having seen this logo, created something almost identical. So she understands just by looking at CommUniverCity's work, how she should design something that is within CommUniverCity's kind of brand or logo ideas. So she's really good at adapting, I'm gonna say. And then when I said, someone mentioned something in an email about a green project, and I said, oh, if we're gonna keep doing projects like this, we should have a green version of our logo. And then she just took it away and
Oh, did she?
Yeah, did we just lose audio on her?
Oh, Liz, I think we lost your audio.
I think so. Oh, there she is.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention my Wi-Fi has had me in this stress for the last few days because it keeps going in and out. So I'm like even on a hotspot. But yeah, so Serena can almost with very little explanation tell us, give us some good samples of work that we can go from and decide to use on all of our materials.
Yeah, and like Liz said, you know, I was there when I first met Serena, and one of the questions I was asking her about was, you know, looking at product packaging. And the reason why I like product packaging is it's really thinking of your audience, right? And then she just looked at some examples of product packaging and saying, here's what, you know, really stands out well and how you can convey information well to people graphically. And I was just really impressed. She was actually one of the standouts, and a lot of the examples that you've seen with her work, and there's just only a few, you know, there's a lot of that connection to being able to reach out to that audience and you know, making that personal connection with just through the work that she does. So wanted to certainly thank her for all that excellent work. And there's an annual report here. I don't know if Catherine, we want to mention some work with annual report here.
Oh, sure. Well, hi, Serena, and congratulations on your impending graduation. I always feel a little bad for December graduates because they don't get like the pomp and circumstance of a spring graduation. So we hope that we can give you a little bit of that pomp and circumstance today. I'm really proud of everything you've done with CommUniverCity. I think that the annual report is really a labor of love for me and for Mary and for Serena, because we work on it. It takes us actually 3 months to put it together. So we have to collect assessment data for all of CommUniverCity's projects and then tell a compelling story in words and in pictures. And if it wasn't for Serena, it would be all text. So I really thank Serena for her graphic vision. And when I think of the 3 words that describe Serena to me, I think of the 3 C's, like CommUniverCity: calm, capable, and creative. I don't know, for those of you who were able to attend our quinceañera last November, all the posters, I remember Serena stayed up, I can't remember, like, I don't know, I think she pulled like a 36-hour work to get everything done. And I really, really appreciated that. And I know she's going to go on to do a lot of amazing things. I'm wondering, Nicole, if we have time for Serena to do a little check-in.
Oh, I think it would be great for her to.
Okay,
now I know where she wants to go, where she's going.
I know. Yeah. Inquiring minds want to know, Serena, what is next for you. So thank you from CommUniverCity's heart. And then, yeah, please take it away, Serena.
Oh, thank you everybody for all the kind words. I can't believe you still remember our interview, Michael and Elizabeth. I still remember the quiz question about the packaging and you know, all those. I was surprised as well about the engineering and actually how closely my designs were exact. And I really appreciate, you know, attending and creating all these like graphics for such a great organization. You know, all the efforts I put in, I hope, you know, to, you know, expand my creativity and, you know, inspire others also about, you know, design as well. And yeah, CommUniverCity has helped me so much. And, you know, the efforts that I've been working with, you know, the team has been great. And I really enjoy, you know, working on these projects. And it was very fun. And I appreciate, you know, all the hard work that I've been working with this year. So thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Serena.
Congratulations and good luck. So next up on our agenda, we have another thank you for Nicole Albalar. And I think, Catherine, you're going to take it from here.
Yeah, thank you. Next slide, please. Thank you. So Nicole is actually a global studies major, which is a great major where you take classes from 12 different academic departments and you learn about all these different issues facing our world today through the lens of multiculturalism and global citizenship. So Nicole approached me earlier this semester, over the summer, because part of being a global studies major is studying abroad. So since the whole world is kind of shut down, you can't study abroad. So Nicole actually helped us quite a bit by fulfilling her study abroad requirement by interning with CommUniverCity. And as we were talking with her, we found out that she actually is an aspiring journalist. And she had been making some videos for another university department that she was working on. And so if those of you who have time today to look at our crowdfunding site, you'll see that there's a video there. I just ask you to click on it because Nicole made it. Nicole made it. She's graduating in December. If you need help with PR, I would say this is a very good time to reach out to both Serena and Nicole because they have proved that they are capable of doing professional quality work. And I really also appreciate that Nicole is another interdisciplinary thinker. So not only is her undergraduate major in global studies, she's minoring in journalism. So she knows how to tell a story. So I just encourage you guys to check out the crowdfunding website and watch the video and see Nicole's work. And if you're interested in making contact with her, I am her academic advisor. So you could just reach out to me and I am happy to put you in contact with Nicole. So because of this, we thought she was going to graduate in spring, but now she can graduate in the fall. So she's super excited about that. So maybe that's why she wasn't at the last minute, she wasn't able to make it today. Maybe she's working on some last minute classes to ensure that she does graduate in December as well. So congratulations, Nicole, and thank you for all your help.
Thank you. That's great. That's wonderful. Thank you, Catherine. All right, I'm going to keep moving. So I think the next slide is December events. Is that, there we go. So in the agenda, there's a list of events that the CommUniverCity team is actively working through. There's a busy month. Is there another slide that actually lists the events?
Yes.
There we go. Okay, so the team's been busy. And they will have a busy rest of December, undoubtedly. If any of you want to join or support in the effort attending one of these events, just reach out. I think Matthew's contact information is at the bottom of that slide. And he can help you, connect you with where you need to get to be able to participate, but they'd love your support. And so we do have a few minutes left, and I'm realizing, so we're almost through the agenda. And the next agenda item is just member organization events. If any of you want to chime in about what you have going on or maybe want support with, now's the time. But I also just wanted to give Nicole a minute if she wanted to say a few words. Sorry, I kind of skipped over that.
Nicole Alvalar?
Yes.
Yeah, she was not able to make it today. We got a last minute email from her about a mandatory, because this is her internship, but she got a mandatory work meeting. So
Gotcha.
we're not gonna knock her for being responsible.
You don't need to feel bad about having skipped over her. That's good. Okay. All right. So we can go into. Thank you. I was like, oh no, I forgot.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Yeah. So now it's just an opportunity. If anyone on the call from other organizations want to make announcements about what's going on in your organization, we do have a few minutes for that. If you've got anything, just chime in, please.
Okay. Well, I'm not from another organization, but I do want to add to the crowdfunding thing that it comes with bragging rights, you guys. There are different giving levels, $10 individual learner, all the way up to project organizer, neighborhood leader, et cetera. So you can have bragging rights if you donate. So obviously any amount is fine, but if you're, $250 community advocate, or if you want to be a la Bernie Sanders, $5 is good too. But whatever would really be helpful for us to help us reach our goal for December. And it's for the month of December. And obviously if you cannot donate, we always welcome a sharing on your social media or via email, etc. And now we can do other announcements also. I'm looking forward to hearing from everybody to see what's going on during the break. 2020 is almost ending.
Like Rita or David, do you guys have any updates from the neighborhoods?
As far as updates from the neighborhood, we're still feeding folks. Gratefully at St. Isabel's Kitchen, Five Wounds Church, averaging anywhere between 60 and 85 a day. And the Portuguese Community Center also is still funded to provide lunches 5 days a week. St. Isabel's Kitchen at Five Wounds Church feeds 6 days a week, not Sundays. Other than that, that's, well, actually, we have some developments coming in, both affordable and market rate housing, which I'll give a shout out to our initial work 15 years ago, CommUniverCity, urban planning students, and others, not just the urban planning students, social science students and others. Our plans are still being heated, as in HEADED. Sometimes it gets heated when developers don't want to, that's the other HEATED. But yeah, those plans, they got legs. They're obviously part of the general plan, and we continue to, we being the BART Transit Village Advocates, which is a spinoff from CommUniverCity, as well as the Friends of the Five Wounds Trail, another spinoff from CommUniverCity. We continue to support and defend, I guess, sort of like a master's thesis or a PhD. We continue to defend our plans against all comers. That's all I have.
Thank you, David. Rita or Jose or Pastor Helen, any updates you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, our neighborhood, Spartan Keys neighborhood, has just been rolling along, starting to do some Zoom meetings for the board. And we'll have our first neighborhood meeting on Zoom next Wednesday. See if anybody shows up. It's been hard, even the board, we have 10 board members and only about half ever sign in. We haven't been going, we have not gone to the Spartan Keys Neighborhood Center since last March. So everybody's sort of laying low. Most of us are retired and felt that we're sort of in the vulnerable group. As you know, I did get COVID and was hospitalized. So it took me a long time to get my energy back to start focusing on things. So we maintain the little garden at Bester Art Park as a beautification project with Beautify San Jose grants. And we just decorated Bester Park for the holidays with garlands and ribbons and things along one of the walls, which is the back of the foundry from San Jose State, and the playground, some things. So see how they go. Last year was the second year we decorated. This is the third year. And we're hoping the decorations make it through all of December. There's always a little bit of vandalism, but it makes us happy to do it. And that's about all that we're doing right now. But we're looking forward to 2021. Hallelujah. Get out of this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Rita. Pastor Helen or Jose, any neighborhood updates?
St. Paul's United Methodist Church hasn't, the only partnership we're doing this December is a event for, with Justice for Josiah, a Christmas from Heaven event where we are providing or organizing a parking lot Christmas present for the family who are impacted by police violence. And we're also reeling from the stabbing incident. There are personal friends who are impacted by the stabbing incidents that happened at Grace Baptist. And so a lot of our community members will be attending memorial services and so forth. So that's what we're doing. We're currently debating and thinking through whether we want to do a outdoors Christmas Eve vigil, but that's still an idea that's being formed.
So for any of these events, and I'm sorry for your loss. It was really heartbreaking to hear about the incidents. If you would like any help from CommUniverCity to publicize any events that you decide to hold, please write us, or Mary can reach out to you, and then we can push it out on our social as well. Because I think actually a lot of students live in the vicinity of the church, and we've been hearing from our students, especially the international students, that religion and faith has been a source of solace for them in a difficult time. So maybe we could use this to create more opportunities for connection. Great, thank you. I see our time is drawing near. Does anybody else want to say anything, or is it time for Nicole to wrap us up?
Catherine, did you have a...
Jose put a link in the chat. Not sure what it's for. But I wanted to mention about Jose.
Let me.
Yeah.
Okay, I was hoping that
Jose.
link would be more descriptive, but it didn't work out that way. So it's a link for a community meeting from the council member Perales. It's happening on Monday. Looks like it's from 6 to 8. It's called Quality of Life Community Meeting, and it's going to be talking about several items, some that were just mentioned right now, and it'll include the San Jose Police Department captain, so city resources, crime trends, homeless, houseless issues, blight, etc. So that's another Zoom event happening on Monday at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, so I was thinking about that, and I was also wanting to know about your lights, the hoops in the neighborhood. Are there like tons just all over the place, or are they like scattered?
Yeah, what those are, the hoops that you're referring to are things that kind of go above the sidewalk, and people walk under them. And it started off, I think, probably only on one street, and now it's really throughout the neighborhood. So I don't know if there's a map of where they are, but you can't miss them. If you're driving
Yeah,
anywhere
they're really
on the north
pretty.
side, you will see them.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Catherine, was there a little something about the gift boxes that you wanted to make?
Oh, yes. So we wanted to, well, I wanted to take a moment to thank Matt Snyder, who was our Christmas Santa, and reached out to steering committee members asking if you would like a gift box this year. So we really wanted to give you guys a thank you. We know that your time is very valuable, and an hour online every month is worth, much more than a gift box. The most valuable thing you can give us is your time. So really appreciate all the good advice that you've been giving us, all your support for grant applications, all your partnerships with our programs. So we did really want to take a moment to thank you with all of our hearts for all the support you've given CommUniverCity, because we really love you, honestly, and we feel so fortunate to be working with you in community. I'm crying. So I know, wow. So thank you all for coming to the meeting, and thank you to Matt. Matt ran all over, like we were having arguments about cookies for months. So I really do want to give an extra thank you to Matt, because it does, being Santa is hard. You can't fly. We have to drive. So thank you.
Oh, well, thank you, Catherine. With that, I think I can close the meeting. Our next meeting is February 5th. And I hope you all have a safe and healthy and happy holiday season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Feliz Navidad.